Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Speak Better English. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Adam. It is so great to be here with you today.
It's great to have you here, Adam. You know, before we started recording today, I actually needed your help with something.
Oh, really? What's up? Is everything okay?
Yes, everything is fine. But my friend from out of town was visiting, and she asked me to describe my new place to her so she could picture it in her head, and I just froze. I started saying, well, it's a place. It has rooms. There is a sofa. It was terrible. I realized I know my home, but I don't know how to describe it naturally in English.
Oh, I completely understand that. It's so funny how that happens. You can live in a place for years, but when someone asks, "What is your place like?" your mind just goes blank. You start listing furniture like a robot. There is a table. There is a chair.
Exactly. It sounds like an IKEA catalog. But today, we want to fix that. We want to help our listeners talk about their homes, their daily lives, and their neighborhoods in a way that sounds natural, personal, and confident.
I love this topic because your home isn't just a list of rooms, right? It's where you live your life. It's where you drink your morning coffee, where you relax, where you sometimes lose your keys.
Yes, exactly. So, Adam, let's start with the basics. Where do you live? And don't just give me the address. Tell me about the place.
Okay, well, I live in an apartment. It's in a building right in the city center. It's not a huge place. Actually, it's quite small, but I really like it.
You said it's small, but you also said you really like it. Sometimes people use the word cozy instead of small. Do you think your apartment is cozy?
Oh, yes! Cozy is the perfect word. It's small, but it feels warm and comfortable. When I walk in after a long day, it just feels right. It doesn't feel empty.
That's a great distinction. Small can sometimes sound negative, like there's no space. But cozy gives a positive feeling. It means it's small, but in a nice, comfortable way.
Exactly. And it's very convenient. Because it's in the city center, I can walk everywhere.
Let's talk about that feeling inside the home. When you walk into your apartment, what is your favorite place? Where do you spend the most time?
That's a good question. I think my favorite place is a small corner in the living room, right next to the big window.
Oh, I love window corners. What do you have there?
Just a small armchair and a little coffee table. But the best part is the natural light. In the morning, the sun comes right through the window. I sit there with my coffee and I just look outside. I don't do anything special. I just sit there. It's my quiet time.
That sounds lovely. There is something so peaceful about natural light. I think the atmosphere of a room is just as important as the furniture. You can have a beautiful sofa, but if the room is dark and cold, you won't want to sit there.
Totally agree. That's why I bought some warm lamps for the evening. When the sun goes down, I turn off the big light and just use the small lamps. It changes the whole mood of the apartment.
I need to try that. Okay, so we know about your cozy apartment and your favorite window corner, but let's talk about what you actually do in these rooms. Because a home is about action, not just objects. Let's start with the bedroom. What's your routine there?
Well, the bedroom is mostly for sleeping, obviously. But I have a funny habit. I have a very bad habit of hitting the snooze button in the morning.
Oh, I know that feeling. The alarm goes off, and you just want 5 more minutes.
Exactly. So, to fix this, I put my alarm clock on a high shelf across the room. Not on the bedside table. On the shelf. So, when it rings, I actually have to get out of bed and walk across the room to turn it off.
That's a clever trick. Does it work?
Well, it works to get me out of bed. But sometimes I turn off the alarm, sit on the edge of the bed, and just fall back asleep anyway.
So, the trick only works 50% of the time.
Yeah, I'm still working on it. But the bedroom is also where I have my clothes chair.
The clothes chair? What is that?
You know the chair. Every bedroom has one. It's the chair where you put the clothes you've worn once, but they aren't dirty enough to go in the laundry, but they aren't clean enough to go back in the closet. So, they just live on the chair?
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. My clothes chair is currently holding 3 sweaters and a pair of jeans. It's a very important piece of furniture in my house.
See? It's universal. Okay, let's move to the kitchen. The kitchen is where the real action happens. I actually cook quite a bit, but I have a confession to make.
Oh, this sounds good. What's your confession?
I am not a morning person, and making coffee in the morning is a dangerous activity for me. Last week, I was half asleep. I put the coffee machine on the counter, put the filter in, added the coffee grounds, and pressed the button.
Sounds like a normal morning so far.
Right. But I forgot to put my mug under the spout.
Oh no.
Yeah. I went to the living room, sat in my window chair, and waited for my coffee. I heard the machine making noise, but after 2 minutes, I didn't smell the coffee. I smelled burning.
Adam, what did you do?
I ran back to the kitchen. The coffee was pouring directly onto the hot counter. It was everywhere. The counter, the floor, even a little bit on the cabinets. I had to grab a towel and clean up this huge, sticky brown mess before it ruined the wood.
That is a disaster, but it's such a relatable story. We've all had those mornings where our brain just isn't turned on yet.
Exactly. Now, I have a new rule. I don't touch the coffee machine until I have had a glass of water and walked around the apartment for at least 5 minutes. I need to wake up first.
That's a very smart rule. So, the kitchen is for cooking and, occasionally, making messes. What about working or studying? Do you work from home?
I do. I have a small home office. Well, it's really just a desk in the corner of the living room, but it's my workspace.
Working from home is great, but it can be hard to focus. What's your desk like?
It's a simple wooden desk. I have my laptop, a lamp, and some notebooks. But the biggest problem with my home office is me. I get distracted so easily.
How so?
Well, I'll sit down to work, I'll open my laptop, and then I'll think, oh, the desk is a bit dusty. I should clean it. So I clean the desk. Then I think, my books are not organized on the shelf. So I organize the books. Then I look out the window and see a nice cloud. Next thing I know, an hour has passed, and I haven't done any work.
Procrastination. You're cleaning your desk to avoid doing your actual work.
Guilty as charged. I have to use a timer now. I set it for 25 minutes. I tell myself, Adam, you just have to focus for 25 minutes. Then you can clean the desk. It helps a lot.
That's a great technique. It's called the Pomodoro technique. Working in short bursts really helps with focus.
I'll have to look that up. But yeah, the home office is a battle between my brain and my distractions.
It sounds like your home is full of life, Adam. From the sleepy kitchen coffee spills to the distracted office cleaning. But living alone or with others, things don't always go perfectly. Have you had any small, everyday problems in your apartment recently?
Oh, yes. Actually, just a few days ago, I had a very embarrassing moment. I was coming home from the grocery store. I had 2 heavy bags in my hands. I got to my front door, put the bags down on the floor, and reached into my pocket for my keys.
And they weren't there?
Exactly. My heart just dropped. I checked my other pocket. Nothing. I checked my jacket. Nothing. I started patting myself down like a crazy person. I thought, did they fall out when I was walking? Did I leave them on the kitchen counter?
That's the worst feeling. You're standing outside your own home, and you can't get in.
Right. So, I'm standing there, looking at the floor, moving the grocery bags around, looking for the keys. And my neighbor, Mrs. Gable, opens her door. She's an older lady, very sweet. She sees me struggling and says, Adam, are you looking for something?
What did you say?
I said, I've lost my keys. She immediately came out and started looking with me. She was checking the hallway, looking under the welcome mat. She was so helpful. After about 5 minutes of searching, I sighed, put my hands in my coat pockets to get my phone to call the landlord, and my fingers touched metal.
No way.
Yes, way. The keys were in my coat pocket the entire time. I had just forgotten I put them in there before I left the house.
Oh, Adam, that is classic.
I was so embarrassed. I had to tell Mrs. Gable, I found them. They were in my pocket. She just laughed and patted my arm. She said, "Don't worry, dear. My husband does that every week."
That's so kind of her. It's a good reminder that these little memory lapses happen to everyone, and it's a great way to practice social English with your neighbors. You got to practice saying, "Thank you for helping me," and "I'm so sorry for the trouble."
True. I did say, "That was very kind of you, Mrs. Gable. Thank you." It felt good to use those phrases in a real situation.
Absolutely. Talking about your home, it's not just about the walls and the rooms. A home has a personality. It holds memories. Is there an object in your apartment that has a special story? Something that makes your home feel like yours?
Let me think. Pause. Actually, yes. I have this bright yellow coffee mug. It's not a set. It doesn't match any of my other dishes. It's just this one big, slightly chipped yellow mug.
I love objects like that. Where did it come from?
About 4 years ago, I took a solo trip to a small coastal town. I wasn't planning to buy anything, but I walked into this tiny old cafe. The owner was an older man, and we started talking. He told me he made this mug himself in his backyard. I bought it for $5.
That's a great memory.
Yeah. Every morning, when I drink my coffee carefully, making sure the mug is under the machine, I use that yellow mug. It makes me think of that trip, the sound of the ocean, and that nice cafe. It's just a cheap mug, but it has a lot of personality.
That's beautiful. It's amazing how a simple object can hold so much meaning. It transforms a house into a home.
Definitely. Speaking of looking out at the world, you mentioned the ocean. When I sit in my window corner, I don't see the ocean. I see the city, which brings us to what's outside the front door. The neighborhood.
Yes, let's step outside. Describe your neighborhood for us, Adam. When you leave your apartment building, what do you see and hear?
Well, it's very busy. I live on a main street. There are cars passing by all day. But I actually like the energy. Right across the street from my building, there is a small bakery.
Oh, a bakery. That must smell amazing in the morning.
It does. Around 7 a.m., you can smell fresh bread and butter from the sidewalk. And right around the corner, there is a modern coffee shop. Not the one I spill coffee in. A real one. So, I have everything I need within walking distance.
Within walking distance. That's a great phrase. It means you don't need a car or a bus. You can just walk there.
Exactly. I have a grocery store, a pharmacy, and a small park, all within a 10-minute walk. I rarely use my car.
That sounds very convenient. My neighborhood is completely different. I live in a quieter area, a bit further from the city center. It's mostly residential. There are lots of trees, and it's very peaceful.
Do you like the quiet, or do you ever get bored?
I love the quiet. After a noisy day at work, I just want to hear the birds, not the traffic. But I have to admit, it's less convenient. My nearest grocery store is a 20-minute walk, or a 5-minute drive.
So, you prefer quiet, and I prefer busy.
I think it depends on your personality. But what do you like most about your busy neighborhood?
The people, honestly. Because it's busy, there are always people outside. I see the same faces every day. The guy at the bakery, the woman who walks her dog in the evening. You start to nod and say hello. It feels like a community. In a very quiet area, everyone stays inside their houses.
That's a really good point. A neighborhood isn't just about the buildings, it's about the people. Have you actually talked to any of these people you see every day? Besides Mrs. Gable, of course.
A little bit. I usually just say, "Good morning," or "Have a nice day." But last month, there was a heavy rainstorm, and the wind blew a lot of branches onto the sidewalk in front of my building. I was outside with a broom, just trying to clear the path, and my neighbor from the second floor, a guy I'd only ever nodded to, came out with his own broom and helped me.
That's so nice.
Yeah, we were out there for 20 minutes, sweeping wet leaves. We started talking, and I found out he's a graphic designer. We actually ended up getting coffee later that week. It's funny how a messy sidewalk can start a friendship.
I love that story. It shows that sometimes you just have to step outside and be present. But neighborhoods can also surprise you, right? Have you ever had an unexpected moment outside your home?
Oh, yes. Actually, this happened inside my home, but it was about the neighborhood. A few months ago, I was cleaning out my closet. I was pulling out old boxes, just getting rid of things I don't need. I opened this one cardboard box at the bottom, and inside, I found an old, folded paper map.
A paper map? Who uses those anymore?
Exactly! But it wasn't just any map. It was a map of my city from 10 years ago, and it had little red circles drawn on it, with notes in the margins. I sat on the floor and looked at it. The red circles were places I wanted to visit but had never been to. A specific bookstore, a little jazz club, a park on the edge of town.
Wow, that's like a time capsule.
It was. And the crazy part is, I looked out my window while I was holding this map, and I realized that the jazz club on the map was now the building right across the street from my apartment. It had turned into that modern coffee shop I told you about.
No way. That is such a cool coincidence.
I know. It made me realize how much the neighborhood changes, and how much my own life has changed. I used to dream about going to that club, and now I drink my coffee right where it used to be. It was a very unexpected, slightly nostalgic moment.
That's a beautiful story, Adam. It really shows how our homes and our neighborhoods are tied to our personal history.
It really does. Hey, Sarah, let's change the scene a bit. Imagine you are coming to visit my apartment for the very first time. You're standing at my front door. What do I say to you? How do I host you?
Oh, I love this. Okay, let's roleplay. Knocks on an imaginary door.
Opens imaginary door. Oh, Sarah! Hi! Come in, come in.
Hi, Adam. Thanks for inviting me. It's so nice to finally see your place.
I'm glad you could come. Come on in. You can take your coat off and put it right there on the hook in the hallway.
Thanks. Takes off coat. Your hallway is very tidy.
Thank you. Make yourself at home. You can put your bag on the sofa in the living room. Would you like something to drink? I can make coffee.
I will make my own coffee, thank you. Just some water is fine.
Very smart. The kitchen is just down the hall, second door on the left. I'll get your water. And if you need the bathroom, it's right next to the kitchen.
This is perfect. These are such natural, useful phrases. Make yourself at home. Take your coat off. Would you like something to drink?
Exactly. When you host someone, you want them to feel comfortable. Using these phrases makes the interaction smooth and polite.
I completely agree. Okay, Adam, we've talked about a lot of things today. Your cozy apartment, the window corner, the coffee spills, the missing keys, the yellow mug, and your busy neighborhood. If a listener wants to describe their own home, how should they structure it? Can we build a description together, step by step?
I think that would be really helpful. Let's do it.
Great. Step 1. Say where you live and give the general location. Keep it simple.
Okay. I live in a small apartment in the city center.
Perfect. Step 2. Describe what the home is like. Give the general feeling or size.
It's quite small, but it's very cozy and comfortable.
Excellent. Step 3. Mention your favorite place and what you do there. This adds personality.
My favorite place is the corner by the window. I usually sit there in the morning and drink coffee.
Beautiful. Step 4. Talk about the neighborhood and what is nearby. Use those practical phrases.
My neighborhood is very busy. There is a bakery across the street and a grocery store within walking distance.
Great. And finally, step 5. Give your personal opinion. Why do you like it?
I really enjoy living here because it's convenient, and I love the energy of the street.
Wow. Listen to that. You just built a complete, natural, and detailed description of your home in 5 steps. It doesn't sound like a robot listing furniture. It sounds like a real person talking about their life.
It actually feels quite easy when you break it down like that. You just move from the general idea to the specific details, and then to your feelings.
Exactly. And the best part is, you can use this same structure for any place. You can use it to describe your hometown, your office, or even a hotel you are staying in.
That's a great point. The structure is flexible.
So, listeners, we want to challenge you. We call it the 5-sentence home challenge.
Oh, I love a good challenge. How does it work, Sarah?
It's simple. We want you to write 5 sentences in the comments below using the structure we just built. Sentence 1. Where do you live? Sentence 2. What is your home like? Sentence 3. What is your favorite place in your home? Sentence 4. What do you usually do there? Sentence 5. What do you like about your neighborhood?
That's a fantastic way to practice. Don't worry about making it perfect. Just write it out. We will read the comments and reply to as many as we can.
And if you want to practice speaking out loud, I have a bonus tip for you. We call it the home walk method.
The home walk method? Tell me more.
It's very simple. When you are alone at home, set a timer for 5 minutes. Walk from room to room. When you enter a room, stop and say 1 or 2 sentences out loud about what you see or what you do there.
Oh, I see. So if I walk into the kitchen, I would say, "This is my kitchen. The fridge is next to the door. I usually make breakfast here."
Exactly! And then you walk into the living room. This is the living room. The sofa is very comfortable. I watch TV here in the evening.
That's brilliant. It connects the physical space with the English words. You're not just memorizing a list. You're associating the words with your actual environment.
Yes! It's about experiencing the English in your real life. Your home is full of English. Every object, every room, every daily action is an opportunity to practice.
I'm actually going to try this today. I need to go describe my clothes chair out loud. Maybe if I talk to it, it will organize itself.
Let me know if that works. Because my clothes chair is currently holding 3 sweaters and a pair of jeans, and it hasn't organized itself yet either.
See? We all have the same problems.
We really do. You know, Adam, as we wrap up today's episode, I want to remind our listeners of something important. You don't need a perfect vocabulary to talk about your life. You don't need to know the exact word for every piece of furniture.
That's right. You just need to start with the things you already know. Talk about how your home feels. Talk about what you do there. Share a funny story about spilling coffee or losing your keys.
Exactly. Language is about connection. When you share a little bit of your personal life, people connect with you. And when you practice talking about your own world, your confidence grows.
I couldn't have said it better. Your home is your safe space. And it should be your safe space to practice English, too.
Well said, Adam. Thank you so much for sharing your cozy apartment, your yellow mug, and your coffee spills with us today.
Thank you, Sarah. And thank you to everyone listening. We hope this conversation helps you feel more confident talking about your home and your neighborhood.
If you found this episode helpful, please give it a like. And don't forget to subscribe to Speak Better English. It really helps us reach more learners like you.
And please, join the 5-sentence home challenge in the comments. We can't wait to read about your favorite places and your neighborhoods.
Until next time, keep practicing, keep sharing your story, and keep speaking better English. Bye for now, everyone.
Bye, everyone. See you next time.